Wednesday Wisdom. We're going to talk about how to truly be happy.
Yeah, buddy.
Celebrate my brother's birthday. Yeah. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rip back with another piece of Wednesday Wisdom for y'all this week. This week I really wanted to talk to you guys about the key to happiness, the true key to happiness. I had a couple experiences this week, and I read a couple things that I'd like to share with you guys because I thought it was fitting to the topic for this week. This last week we went and celebrated my brother's birthday, and we had an awesome time. And one of the things that I believe is the key to happiness, before I get to reading these other things to you, is spending money and energy on experiences rather than material things. It's funny because the same day that we celebrated my brother's birthday, I also put a down payment on a new video camera. For those who know me, I'm a videographer. I do a lot of video work and video production, and I put a pretty decent down payment on a new camera. And in all honesty, both those incidents that day made me feel a different way. Putting the down payment on the camera, which is a real nice camera that I look forward to having, actually gave me anxiety, whereas hanging out with my family and doing indoor skydiving for my brother's birthday and catching up with my family and everything was actually a really stress relieving fun time, and it actually was a lot more fulfilling than the promise of this camera that I'm getting in the future, which is a material item. So, you know, the experience with my family really outweighed the material item. Even though I love videography and I look forward to this new camera, I really believe that, you know, experiences in life really outweigh material items. And not just that incident, you know, I've also been doing a lot of stuff lately. The last year or two, I've been kind of spending more time and money on experiences. Like I just went to Florida with my brother to Orlando, and that was a fun experience, and I had no problem spending money doing that. And the year before that, him and I went on a cruise to the Bahamas. So, you know, it's kind of things like that where I don't mind spending money because, you know, experiences really, to me, I've learned in my older years, outweigh the purchase of material things. Whereas, like, I'll get a material item like something I need for my computer or a new piece of video equipment, and, you know, it's cool for like about 1 minute, but then after that, it subsides, and, you know, it's just kind of like, all right, now what? So I just wanted to share that tad bit of info with you guys, and then I wanted to read something that I came across this week. There was a Facebook post that I posted, and it kind of, I got a lot of likes on Facebook, and I wanted to read it to you guys, which kind of goes over this. It says, as we grow older and hence wiser, we slowly realize that wearing a $300 or $30 watch, they both tell the same time. Whether we carry a $300 or $30 wallet or handbag, the amount of money inside is the same. Whether we drink a bottle of $300 or $10 wine, the hangover is the same. Some argue this one. Whether the house we live in is 300 or 3,000 square feet, loneliness is the same. You will realize your true inner happiness does not come from material things of this world. Therefore, I hope you realize when you have mates, buddies, and old friends, brothers and sisters who you chat with, laugh with, talk with, have sung songs with, talk about north, south, east, west, or heaven and earth, that is true happiness. So I posted that, and there's a couple other things in this post too that it goes into, and, you know, a lot of people really liked it. And I thought I'd share that, and, you know, that's true. That's something that I come to find true in my old age. Yeah, I'm getting up there. I'm old. Last week, I shared a book I was reading with you guys called God Never Blinks, and I wanted to share one. I wanted to read one other thing out of Lesson 44 from this book, which also speaks about true happiness. Because I truly feel that if I share my own opinions of people, they're just like, oh, he's blowing air up, whatever. So here we go. Let me read this. Uncle Al was dying. The doctors diagnosed it as pneumonia, but I think his heart finally wore out. Uncle Al missed the light of his life. He was 81 and had spent most of his life loving my Aunt Chris. He never stopped loving her, even when she forgot him, when the Alzheimer's washed away her every memory of their 56 years together. Death wasn't strong enough to part them. He walked around the house carrying a picture of my aunt after she died. He talked to her, prayed to her, sang to her. The songs brought her back. I stopped for a brief visit when he ended up in the hospital with pneumonia. I tiptoed into the ward, a specialized care unit where he had a tiny room all his own. As soon as I said hello, he bolted upright, as if I'd used the defibrillator. His thin, white, wild hair was all askew. He was so skinny his bones stuck out of the hospital gown, jagged like weapons. I could see my uncle's struggle, the pain, the shortness of breath, the difficulty swallowing, but his mind was sharp as ever. He talked for 2 hours. He started talking and he couldn't stop. Uncle Al loved to tell stories. His daughter kept asking him to pause to breathe. I sat on his bed, savoring every detail as he recalled those years gone by. Then he started singing and wanted us to join in. Come home, ye who are weary, come home, he sang, then smiled. When we got to the end, like a little kid, he begged, let's sing it again. Every so often, a doctor or nurse would come in to remind him to keep breathing the oxygen. He threw them out. He wasn't worried about dying, wasn't interested in prolonging his life. My uncle was ready to go, ready to be with his wife. His wedding vows went beyond until death do us part. I've had a great life, he said, through the oxygen mask over and over. No one has had a better life than me. What a great claim to make on your deathbed. To wrap your arms around the life you lived and give thanks for it alone. No regrets, no what ifs, no should haves. Uncle Al knew that happiness is a choice. How can you be happy? You choose to love what you already have. Happiness isn't in the raise we want, in the retirement portfolio we build, in the mansion or Mercedes we'll be sitting in if we win the lotto. Studies show that extra money will not make you extra happy. No one wants to be poor, but once basic needs for food, shelter, and education are met, the extra money you can spend does not buy happiness. That's the word from happiness researchers. Yes, there really are such things. Those economists and psychologists who are paid to study happiness came out with a report that ran in Science magazine in 2006. It showed people with higher incomes didn't report being happier. They reported being more anxious and angry. Around the same time, a report came out in the newspapers that said having children, being retired, and owning a pet don't affect happiness. It's your outlook, what yourself choose, that determines whether you are happy. How to be happy? Experts offer these tips. Choose time over money. Meditate and pray. Make peace with the past. Spend more time socializing with friends. Seize the day. Seize the moment. The Oreo. Okay, that last one was my tip. People used to turn to spiritual directors for answers. Nowadays, they turn to life coaches. My money is on the monks. Years ago, I went on retreat at the Abbey of Gethsemane. A monk had posted a sign outside the room where he was going to give a brief speech. He posted 3 questions and gave his answers. Who am I? A child of God. What do I need? Nothing. What do I have? Everything. That sums it up. Who lives it? Too few of us. One of the greatest models of living it was Michael Judge, the popular Roman Catholic priest who died in the attacks of September 11th. His friend, Father Michael Duffy, a friar from Philadelphia, said this in his eulogy. He would say to me, Michael Duffy, he also called me by my full name, Michael Duffy, you know what I need? And I would get excited because it was hard to buy him a present or anything. I said, no, what? You know what I really need? No, what, Mike? Absolutely nothing. I don't need a thing in the world. I'm the happiest man on the face of the earth. So was my uncle. Were they happy because they had everything or because they needed nothing? Both. Happiness isn't getting what you want. It's wanting what you already have. My Uncle Al had it all because what he had was all he wanted. At his funeral, we sang his favorite song to him, All Who Are Weary Come Home. We all smiled. We couldn't really grieve. We knew he was happy. He always was. So those are a couple things I wanted to share with you guys this week. The true key to happiness. It's not in money. It's not in material things. I know there's people out there who may think still that it is. I can tell you from personal experience when I was a kid, I thought money, happiness, fame, women, all these sorts of things would bring me happiness. And I can tell you right now, none of that stuff has ever brought me any happiness or fulfillment. Whether it's awards or accolades, whether it's any sort of pseudo fame or women, any types of things, none of those things have ever brought any sort of fulfillment or happiness to me. I'm telling you right now, it's appreciating and enjoying the things you do have in life. Not material things, but friends, family, and close loved ones. Just spending quality time with them and spending money on experiencing things with them. That is what I have found to be the true happiness to life. I figured it out in the last couple years of my life. I'm glad I figured it out now rather than later in life. And I'm hoping that you guys could take something away from that and learn that as well. Learn something from that as well. So that's my advice for this week. I want to invite you guys to tune in next week. Next week we're going to be talking about how nothing ever feels 100% right or complete in life. That's what I'm going to be talking about next week on Wednesday Wisdom. And I just want to invite you guys really quick too. Make sure you guys vote for me in the Madison Hip Hop Awards. We're up for multiple awards. I'm going to send a link right down here. It's going to be broadjam.com/MHHA. And we are up for multiple awards. If you guys would vote for me, I would appreciate it greatly. Also, really quick, my new me music video, there was some setbacks. My old visual effects artist just quit on me. He just left me high and dry and kind of hanging. Haven't even heard anything back from him, so I had to find another visual effects artist who's actually stepping up and doing an awesome job and taking care of things, and we're getting some progress finally on that music video, and that should be done in a couple weeks too. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. My new me music video is coming up soon, and I just want to let you guys know I appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.